Everyone we see is a reflection of us. An interesting perspective that I have about the government, but more about Parliament. Now, we all know we have a left wing and a right wing, or a left side or a right, or a pro or against. But I was thinking that when you look at what the opposition does, they don't really oppose anything. You see, the people in power, whether it be the left or the right, or in Australia, Labour or Liberal, it doesn't really matter whether it's Democrats or Republicans. The way of governance is wrong. You see, I think there's a view from a lot of people that they just want to see all the governments gone. And I'm a firm believer that I think we need a new governance, if you will. Not one that's brought in through the same corrupt system that is there now. No, we need a new one. Boycott the existing ones around the world and create a new faction. A new government that serves the people, that creates betterment for everyone, and actually is there for the struggling families. It doesn't make burdens out of them and make them suffer, or take and improve their pockets and put expenditure into war. No, this one's about the people. So, how do you keep a structure in Parliament? What is the role of the opposition? Well, let's say you have a group that is, for a better word or term, is in power. They are the ones controlling the agenda, but in my opinion, no one is really in charge, but they are the ones creating the new bills, or creating the new budgets, or bringing forth new ideas, or changing electorates. I think, let's say they bring forward a bill where, they would like to give more money to hospitals, or childcare, or schooling, correct schooling, that is. And they bring forward a new bill that allows a specific amount of money or resources. But to do so, they need it to pass government. So they bring it forth to the opposition. You see, they don't bring it towards a chair or a person in power or a seat. This is just showmanship. No, you bring it forth to the opposition. And the role of the opposition is to allow it or not. But you see, if the side that is in power, or the government that is currently making the decisions, they're the ones that agree on this, so we know they're in favor. You see, the opposition, rather than having a vote between left and right, because if left is in power, they've got the majority. No, the role of this new opposition, in my opinion, the way I'd like to see it, is that they each internally within the opposition cast their vote. They have ample time to go over the new bill, the new structure. And they vote within their own factions on a majority. And if the majority of the opposition approve, then the bill can move forward. And this way you have an opposition. If they are themselves not sure about it, then the bill doesn't pass. It doesn't mean it fails, it means it doesn't pass and refines or needs refinement. In my opinion, that is the way that it should be. It is democracy at its core, where no one is in power over it, or no one is just bringing something forward and saying, this is a new bill, what do you think? Well, it doesn't really matter because we have the majority. No, that's dictatorship, that's control. No, this is all about sharing and bringing forth new ideas, the betterment of humanity. So if we're gonna keep a governmental system or a parliament like it currently is, then this is the way I'd like to see it. You see, to do so, you kind of need a new government. And I think that's plausible. It's definitely possible. Who knows what's going to occur in the new world? You see, this same government or political powers that may be, whoever it is, it doesn't really matter what you call it. You are serving the people. Your electorate, your constituents, they are coming to you with questions, with things that need improvement. And rather than shrugging them off, you take them seriously. You fix things that need fixing. Your electorate might need certain street lights or road fixtures. And these things are covered because everyone is communicating. And I think the communication from each constituent goes forward to the state with new ideas and new possibilities. You have questionnaires, you bring things forward where people feel like their voice is heard. You have more commitment. There are so many people in society that know how to fix things, but yet nobody asks or nobody listens. But this way would be different. So you see, information would then trickle back down to the heads of state for your state, and then that would go to Australia. You see, everyone is involved. Do you need a one Prime Minister of Australia? Do you really? Do you need a President of the United States? What good has one person in power ever been to society? How can one person alone make all the decisions for an entire nation or continent or country? It's impracticable to even fathom the idea that one person alone is capable of it. No, that's just patriarchy. It puts people in pedestals, in positions of high power and high praise and money and dictatorship and control. No, that era shall cease. No, everyone is equal and opportunities arise equally in politics, in parliament. You don't have one person making all the decisions. No, you have a collective of people, a class of politicians from every state or around your country. You might have a mediator, one who facilitates the meeting requests. We have it in business already. You have it in meetings when you go. You have a scribe and you have a host. And that can be done for Parliament too. Everyone else who is in charge is just puppets to a higher power. So, when you have your own country in unison, in growth, in spirituality, especially in politics, everything stems down from that in a structure. Politics has their fingers in every jar. They should not. If you have a medical party, then they are the ones that take care of the medical side of things, the hospitals. You have people who have been born and raised into that field of expertise, and they know how to run it. So let them run it. Don't put some person who's from the city, who's never seen a country a day in their life, and they're running rural areas or regional areas. Don't put someone who doesn't understand schooling or teaching as a parent and put them in charge of education. Don't give a person more than they can handle. Don't give them 2 or 3 portfolios that are completely different. No. The people in the positions that need to run them are the experts who have been in that field. These are the categories of why they are there. Would you trust a banker to sell you a car? No. But would you trust a mechanic? More than likely. For you see, confidence lies in the skill of the person who is in charge of the area of expertise. What an interesting parliament that would be. But it doesn't stop there. It goes further, because not only do you have ties between each state of your country, building growth, but the expansion to other countries around the world then takes place. And rather than exchanging with money and this and all sorts of political handshakes and corruption and war, no, there is no more war. There's no more fighting between each other. War just creates fear and an electrical impulse of money laundering and bloodshed. No, but entertain the idea of, let's say someone knows how to cultivate farms more in Europe. Doesn't matter where in Europe. But then they have the information that maybe someone in Asia might need. A new product that's on the market that they require that they do not have. There would cease to be existent third world countries, because every other country will facilitate the growth and the movement of all other regions in the world. That is true heart and love for your country and for other people. It can be fixed literally in a day. More would take time to get it to where it needs to. But instead of spending billions of dollars for weapons of war, no, you supply areas that are struggling the things that they require, whether it's food or electricity, water or education. Maybe it's just shopping centers and a general way of living or standard way of living to improve someone's well-being, or housing and accommodation. And now you're sending money and it's being worthwhile. So you see, when you have these conferences of people around the world, now think about how exciting that would be. How powerful and love-driven that would be. You look forward to it because there are so many new ideas, so many new handshakes to make and people to meet. No more secrecy and lies and corruption. That is a true parliament. It's not a one world government, but it is one world. The only difference is everyone shares their knowledge. See, they want to keep you enslaved under one ruler. A king or a queen or a pharaoh. No. No, that won't happen. That is something that I want to see. Something that I believe in, that I know will happen. And as boring as the topic of politics may be, in the current world and the situation moving forward, this is what we need to be thinking about. This is what we need to be placing our energy on. It's not this sort of magic click of the fingers and everything will be fine. No, it's a process to get to where we need to. It'd be great if you could click your fingers like the Marvel movies and everything just goes back to the way it was, or improves, or changes. But you see, that is a notion or a thought. So as long as we find ways to improve and create betterment in the current times, in the present times, we harbor change. We manifest change. Therefore, we remove or we eradicate the fear. What a wonderful world to live in. When you know that the people who are running the countries or making the decisions globally are there for you. And when you know that, I think we all get better. We all feel better. I know just by thinking about it, I feel better. It feels nicer. Well, at least that's how I feel. So I will continue my journey because I want to be a part of that change. Whether this lifetime or the next, it doesn't matter. I will make that change. And I hope you do too. So with peace and love, take care.